Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today let's review The Girl of Glass, a summer bird's tale. It is an interesting game, to say the least. First and foremost, it's point-and-click adventure gaming in which you play this girl of glass who is trapped in the circus and has no other wish than to leave it and just go into the wide open world. It is a rather magical and funny endeavor with some serious undertones and sort of a coming-of-age story, but it never gets heavy-handed. What is immediately apparent are the colorful oil-painted graphics and the distinct characters that are subtly animated. It's all very well done, and it is wonderful to look at. It's very pleasing to the eye. The voice narration is fine. I actually liked that the narrator is obviously not a native English speaker. It does add to that sort of foreign atmosphere that the game is going for. Other than that, there are no voices in the game, which would have been great, but understandable, as this is an indie title after all. Apart from some typos, the dialogue is quirky, and it works well to flesh out the characters. Oh, and there's also an amazing classical score that really adds to that dreamy atmosphere of this game. Now, puzzles require some thought, but make sense overall. If I had to say something negative about the puzzling, well, sometimes it is required that you pick up items that are hard to find against the colorful backdrops or easily overlooked because of that. Now, certain situations in the game require some turn-based combat. It's a minigame where you choose to move, strike, and block at the right time, or you concentrate so that you can strike twice in consecutive order. And also, this works well, and every action of your opponent has an optional counter reaction. Again, it works well in the way that, for instance, water works well against fire, and stone works against wood, and that sort of thing. And these battles can turn into a puzzle all by itself, which is nice. But, and this is a really big but, and this is my biggest complaint with the game. In chapters 2 and 4, the adventure game basically gets thrown out of the window in favor of just turn-based brawling, and frequently interrupted by dialogue where the carefully created characters go into what seems to be sort of a psychoanalysis about themselves. This is really over the top, and the brawling just becomes tedious and frustrating, especially because you will be fighting the same enemy types over and over, and it just becomes a trial and error type of game. And there's no way to skip these battles. So, in essence, this developer shows a lot of talent to create an amazing point-and-click adventure game, but the combat really spoiled the game. It really brought it really down, and if only the combat would be complement to the adventuring, then I'd be fine with it. But again, this game goes overboard with the combat, and it will throw battle after battle at you, and I'm not sure why this is actually in the game. It's probably not going to appeal to hardcore adventure gamers who don't care for the brawling, and it's probably a little bit too much for casual players who are only in this game because of the narration and the story. So, yeah, and that really makes me angry because there's a lot of talent behind this game. So, in conclusion, on one hand, it's mesmerizing, it's brilliant in its design in terms of point-and-click adventuring, but the combat, the turn-based combat, is just so repetitive and so tedious and frustrating and grinding that it really sucks all the fun out of the player, in my opinion. So, overall, I just cannot even if I wanted to, I just cannot recommend this game. It makes it so hard on itself. It creates something magical and just breaks it down with mediocre and frustrating combat, unfortunately. So thank you guys for watching, and see you. And I'm really disappointed. I'm just really am. Anyway, see you next time.